Hello, and welcome, my friends, to the next video in the Create Better Content series, where I show you how to tap into your creativity so that you never run out of content ideas again. My name is Penny, and I am your guide and the developer of this unique creative content development process. I want to teach you how to create more engaging content, remarkable content that's going to help you reach more qualified customers online. And if you want to learn more about creativity and how this can help you develop your content marketing plans, I would love to see you hit that button below and subscribe to this channel. As for below, in the description box, you are going to see several links. The first link that you're going to see is for my book, I Just Did a Thing, where I go into detail about the science and understanding about why tapping into your creativity really directly affects your content creation, and it can help you make any big changes in your business or your personal life. And the second link you're going to see below is so that you can subscribe to the Create Your Business program, and you can personally go through the process of developing remarkable content. You can personally experience the creative activities and go through all of this amazing stuff that I talk about in these videos. So go down there below, you'll see the link for Create Your Business program, and you too can start making sure that you can tap into your creativity and never run out of content ideas again. Alrighty then. So today's video, we are going to continue on with our conversation about the customer journey, the customer buyer's journey especially. And I want to get real specific today. I want to talk about the habits and patterns that we develop, especially when it comes to us as consumers and how it affects us as business owners, because these habits and patterns are very intrinsically connected to the journey and how people make their purchase decisions. So I want to connect all of the customer videos together, the customer journey videos together that I have just done. And I want to talk through how we go from learning about somebody's business to actually getting to that point as a consumer to paying for the purchase. So let's move through this whole process together and see where we are with just this. I guess it's the science. Maybe that's the word I'm looking for. The best word I can use to describe what we're going to be talking about today is mostly about the science of why we do what we do. But the irony of this is because once we learn the why we do what we do, us as business owners, or we as business owners, can then take that information and help us when we're creating content. So I want to dig into some of this stuff when it comes to our habits and creating our patterns. Because when it comes to habits, you really have like two choices. You can go into autopilot and do the same thing that you always do, or you can disrupt your pattern by thinking differently. And all of this happens in our prefrontal cortex. Our prefrontal cortex is right up here. It's actually right behind your eyebrows. It's right around the forehead area. And this is the main part of our brain that does a lot of the decision making. It does a lot of the planning. It does everything from when we're having a conversation with somebody. This is the part of our brain that helps us discern the emotions that somebody is having. And it also gives us hints and clues about how we are going to respond to it. All of this happens in our prefrontal cortex. And the prefrontal cortex is that place that we want to focus on right now, because this is that space that makes the decision, that plans, that does all of these things, that either takes us into autopilot or is open to disrupting the patterns. And when I'm referring to patterns, I'm talking about something that's patterns like a learned response to a stimulus. That's the scientific version of this. And the stimulus could be anything from, like a person walking into a room, you smell baking bread, or even a noise. Any of those things could be a stimulus. When I'm talking about a noise, a really great example of that is your alarm clock. So people hear that noise, and when their alarm clock goes off, they automatically hit the snooze button. Maybe they hit it once, they hit it twice, they hit it 3 times, and they're like, okay, 3rd time, I'm getting up. The noise of the alarm clock is the stimulus. And then the hitting of the snooze button is a learned response. And if you do this every single morning, you hit that thing once, twice, and 3 times, you have created a pattern. So the stimulus was the alarm clock. The actual behavior becomes hitting it 3 times, and you have developed a pattern. So you're following with me so far. So no matter what's going on, the stimulus in your brain and your body end up reacting the same way when we've developed these habits and these patterns. And what's interesting about patterns is that it's not something new to us. It's something that we've been raised with. You may not even realize it, but think back about the times when you were a kid. You had a bedtime routine. That was a pattern. When you went to school, you had things that you did at school routines, I guess is a good word for it. That's a pattern. We were all raised with this idea of patterns, and we take what we did as kids, and we actually take some of these patterns and we find ways to move them into our lives as adults. And it's like how we drive to work the same way. You drive the same way to work every single day, or you go down the same aisles in the grocery store. You create these patterns for yourself. And I can honestly tell you that what's going on, especially with your prefrontal cortex, your brain loves it when you can develop a pattern, because it makes it feel safe. It makes it feel like there's an order to the world, that there's a comfort there. This is the reason why we develop patterns. We don't like to live in chaos. We don't like things to be, what's the word I'm looking for? Just coming at us and just unexpected. We like to feel the comfort. We like to know when things are happening. And that's why we develop these patterns. So the same thing happens with regards to the customer buyer's journey. Because most likely, people are buying out of habit. They're saying, I've always used this company because my parents use this company. I buy this type of car because my parents bought this type of car. And now this is the 3rd time I have bought the same exact type of car. It's a pattern. So we can look at the patterns that we have developed as adults, and we can actually see how we're doing the same thing when it comes to buying things, when it comes to making a decision about, what we're going to purchase, how we're going to purchase, especially when it comes to a big ticket item. Small impulse items, maybe we're apt to go buy something that we normally wouldn't. But when it comes to big, huge, purchases, we will almost always tend to go towards our patterns. And so these things happen to us. And when we feel like, when we're moving past our pattern, when we're moving past the comfort, that's when we feel the resistance. Those are those moments when you are thinking, should I do this? Should I pay for this? Should I join that group? Should I pay for that one-on-one coaching? That is the resistance that is happening to you. It's not that you're questioning, everything that's going on through bits and pieces, but your body and your brain is like, wait a minute here. You are disrupting the patterns. This is not our normal pattern. And that's why we end up feeling the same way. So there's things that are going on within our body and in our brain with regards to these patterns and our habits, and they are directly related to how we make purchases. And we tend to do these same patterns over and over and over again. And so our job, we as business owners, our job when we see that people are moving in that same pattern over and over again is our job with our content, our job with our information, our job with our marketing messages is to let them think that there are options available. Let them see that what they're normally doing, how can we disrupt that pattern? Because that option that's available, that option is your business. And so I come back to this over and over again because I think it's like really, really important when it comes to this. And it really ties in to something that I've just developed and released, helping people create content really specific to this customer journey, the customer buyer's journey. Because for people that are feeling tired of feeling stuck when it comes to creating content that actually makes sales, or maybe one of these people who've constantly guessing about how to create content that really resonates with your customers and helps you nurture leads and drive some conversions. In the description box below, you're going to see a link to my latest digital product, The Path to Purchase. And this is a roadmap to help you move through all of these things that we've been talking about with this series of customer journey videos that I've done to help you transform your content strategy. So let's think about it like this. If your potential customers are moving through their purchase process in autopilot, are they always buying from the same business? Are they always doing the same steps? They spend time Googling, they're looking for options out there, and then they just go into autopilot and they stop even looking. So that's why it's so important for us to create this content along the different paths, from not just the awareness, but the consideration and the decision part. Those 3 steps that we go through on the customer buyer's journey. And what we can do is it gives us the opportunity, especially during the awareness part of it, to find ways to disrupt somebody's pattern. And you know what? Let me give you a really perfect example here when I'm talking about purchasing with a pattern. I myself personally have developed a pattern of purchasing my dog's food from Amazon. I had actually gone to the point where I had checked all of the pet stores and the grocery stores and all of these places. And I kept finding time and time again that Amazon had the best price for my dog food. So I developed a pattern of purchasing my dog food from Amazon. And it's gotten to the point now where I am gone so far into autopilot that I literally pick up the app on my phone, pull up an order that I had last time, and just click buy again. I mean, it's like easy for me to do that. My purchasing process for my dog food is now on autopilot. I don't even think about what I should be buying. I don't think about when I'm going to the store. I don't think I should be comparing prices with this price and that price. I totally stopped. I went straight into autopilot. And so I want you to think about that with regards to your customers. Because if your customers are in the place that they've just moved themselves into autopilot, like I have with my dog food, and if they have, how can you get them to think differently? How can you get them to, from where they are right there in their customer buyer's journey, to get them to start disrupting their pattern, disrupting their habit of going into autopilot and buying the same thing over and over again? What is it that you can create? Your content, could it be a video series? Could it be a blog post that's going to answer their pain points? Could it be a series of TikTok videos that you could be doing, explaining to them, how you see them and their pattern, and how you can move them from the awareness of where they are right now into the consideration of your business as an option. And that's why we want to think about these patterns. We want to understand that people's buying patterns tend to get into that place, tend to go into that autopilot. And so you want to think about your marketing, your content as an option to not only allow them to be aware of your business, aware that that their pain points are there, that their challenges are there, and then talking about the solution. And of course, when we hit that consideration and into that decision stage, it's not just that the solution that you understand that not that you just understand the solution to their pain point is your business, but how can we take them to the place where we're actually disrupting their pattern too? We get their attention. That's when the memes are really good. That's when the live streaming can be really, really good, because you want to make sure that your business gets included as an option for their decisions, that your business becomes one of their options when they start looking around. Especially if we're talking about the people that are just going into autopilot of, just let me ask for recommendations. I'm going to ask my parents. I'm going to ask my friends. I'm going to ask, my partner. Give me an idea about where we're going to go, and then I'm just going to go do it. So it is our job as business owners to understand this, to understand what's going on around us. And I want to stress this, and this is a really important piece here. When we started talking years and years ago about the sales funnel model, we always looked at it like it was this great big cone, and there's the top part of it there with the social media and the marketing stuff. And then we moved them through the sales funnel. At the very bottom of the funnel was the purchase. But I think because of the way that we are so in tune with going online, we are so in tune with functioning off of our phones, we are so in tune with doing things a lot differently, using me as an example, the fact that I've gone into autopilot with my dog food. If we get to that very place, we have now moved into a situation where we're not so much this linear funnel model that we've all been taught. We like to think that, it's really simple to understand, but the way that people are making purchases these days has everything to do with the way that they connect themselves with the internet. It has everything to do with the way that they can research, that they can ask questions, that they can go into a Facebook group and ask for recommendations. So when we think about the customer buyer's journey, it's not just about how we can get them into the top of the funnel, but how can we deliver overall exceptional customer experience every step of the way. The part where they're in awareness and they're starting to understand what their pain points and challenges are. The consideration where now I understand that there's a solution out there and I'm looking for who the options are that I want to work with or who I want to buy from. And then that decision of I feel good about this and I'm going to make this decision, I'm going to purchase this. So that overall exceptional customer experience is really more in tune with what's going on with the way that people are making purchases versus just trying to shove ourselves into that great big funnel model, which doesn't really exist as much as it used to because the way that things have changed and the way that we have changed and the way that we as consumers have changed. And because there's so much that has happened with us as consumers changing over the years, we as business owners need to open our eyes and be aware that there's habits, that there are purchases, that there are patterns. And so if we are not right there in front of these people, if we are not giving them the opportunity to know more about us and who we are and how we can help them, we're not allowing our business to disrupt their autopilot and to be seen as an option. So think about it from that perspective. And if you need some help about this, if you're looking for a way to move past all of this stuff about where you are, I have a secret weapon for you. And I'm going to show you how to master the art of content creation and win over customers during the whole customer buyer's journey. I'm talking about from awareness, consideration, and decision-making stages. Because at its core, when we really look at it, the customer buyer's journey is the path for your potential customers they take from the moment that they realize they have a problem or a need at that moment, and then they decide to make a purchase. It's the whole thing, the whole experience that I'm talking about. So if you want to end the guesswork and get clear about how to create content that really resonates with your customers, really shows them how to move them past autopilot and shows them how to disrupt that pattern, I would love for you to sign on to the Path to Purchase, and you will get your ultimate secret weapon for conquering all these questions in your content creation. The Path to Purchase is the content development tool that I have just released and will help you stop feeling stuck when it comes to creating content and help you uncover how you can actually create something that's going to convert. So when I'm talking about the Path to Purchase, you get all kinds of really cool stuff in it. You get to watch a customer journey workshop, and you get to do a deep dive with me. And I'm going to show you, I'm going to actually walk you through the stages of the customer journey. And I'm going to give you some really powerful insights and some strategies about how you can develop your customer touch points from your business, how to get them to move through the whole journey. You're also going to get 3 targeted workbooks. You're going to get these workbooks, and each one of these workbooks, you've got one for awareness, one for consideration, and one for decision. And you're going to have some really great prompts to help you work through and give you some action steps. And these workbooks are basically like your roadmap to your content strategy. And then I'm also going to share with you some of your next steps that you need to do. Basically, when you've taken all that you've uncovered in your workbooks and you've watched the workshop, you can then learn how to grab attention in the awareness stage. You can guide your customers through the consideration stage, and you can literally seal the deal in the decision stage. So I would love to see you learn more about this, and your journey, your customer journey to move your community into loyal customers begins with a single click. And you will find that link below in the description area, and you can get access to the path to purchase. So thank you so much for joining me today with this creative process. If you've enjoyed this content about creativity, I hope you'll consider subscribing to this channel. And if you're ready to dig into the deep work of developing your content marketing strategy, the link is below for you to get access to the path to purchase. You'll stop saying, I'm stuck and I don't know what to do with my marketing messages. And you'll start believing that you know what to do to come up with that content. You'll know what you need to say to see results. Seriously, folks, I've never seen anything like this before, and I would love to see you get access to that. So check it out in the link below. You are magnificent, my friend. And let me be the first to say, I'm proud of you. Until next time.